Your job's a joke, you're broke, and you're obsessed with the Enneagram. That's right, folks. Today we're talking about the cast of Friends and their Enneagram types. Let's pivot into it.
Pivot! 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 Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
If you're interested in more Enneagram videos, I've linked a playlist of all of those in the description down below. I'm Abbey Howe, and I'm here to help you discover you. I'm starting with everyone's favorite perfectionist, Monica Geller.
Why is everything different? I want to show you how to fold the toilet paper into a point. And I do ask that when you're not using the markers, you put the caps back on them because they will dry out.
I think Monica is the easiest to type because her character traits are really exaggerated throughout the series. She's meticulously organized, she stays on top of her tasks, and she has this strong sense of justice when she stands up for her friends. That's why I think that Monica is a type 1. Monica is hyper aware of the ethical flaws in others. For example, when she's being grilled by her parents, she does not hesitate to tell her mom and dad that
Ross smoked pot in college.
She also compulsively chases perfectionism, almost as if she's afraid that someone's gonna jump out and punish her if she makes a mistake along the way.
What if there's no room for a ribbon drawer because the baby stuff takes up all the space? Where will all the ribbons go?
This is probably linked to her childhood because her mom is so demeaning to her and her parents just treat Ross like by far the better child. Monica sees the world as a place to be fixed and she is duty bound to fix it. She also gets angry when others don't see the world the way she sees it.
See, I've been waiting my whole life to be engaged. And unlike some people, I only planning on doing this once. So, maybe this is selfish and I'm sorry about it, but I was kind of hoping tonight could just be about that.
Monica is a rock that others rely on, and I think this is really exemplified by her apartment. Her apartment is the bedrock of not only just where the friends hang out, but also of the entire television series. So much happened in that apartment, and that was because of Monica. That's because Monica, as a 1, she opened up this space of love and friendship, and I just think that it really embodies who she is. And now on to the next Geller, Ross.
They're not coming on, man.
Ross is intelligent, intensely curious, and a textbook overthinker. That's why I think that Ross is an Enneagram type 5. Type 5s usually become an expert in some area, and Ross loves dinosaurs so naturally, he got a PhD in paleontology. He has a scientific mind that is often the voice of reason, except when his insecurities kick into gear. For example, when Phoebe thinks that her mom is reincarnated into a cat, Ross cannot let it go.
No, look, hey, enough is enough. Look, I am sorry that you feel guilty or whatever about spending time with your new mom, but this is not your old mom. This is a cat, okay? Julio the cat. Not mom, cat.
He relies on his knowledge of the world to give him a sense of control and a defense against feelings of inadequacy. That's why it's hard for him to accept that others believe things that are, to him, so clearly wrong. Because 5s prefer to observe, they often watch life from the sidelines instead of participating in it. That's why I think it took Ross so freaking long to ask Rachel out.
Oh no, I really love you.
I really love you.
Oh, I don't get it.
And now it's time for haircut trendsetter Rachel Green.
I just went to your building and you weren't there, and then this guy with a big hammer said that you might be here, and you are.
I struggled a lot with this one because Rachel changes so much within the 10 seasons of the show, so I think there's a couple different ways that you could go with her. Rachel is ambitious, competitive, and rises to the challenges in her life. She also can be dramatic, moody, and very self-absorbed. That's why I think Rachel is a 3-wing 4.
Put that box down. We are not going anywhere. This is my apartment and I like it.
Rachel is very career driven. Once she finally decides what she wants to do, she goes after it with a great work ethic and tenacity.
I made a huge fool of myself and I came back. That shows courage. When I thought you wanted sex in exchange for this job, I said no. That shows integrity. And I was not afraid to stand up for myself, and that shows courage.
Like a 3, Rachel has trouble accessing and recognizing her feelings. And when she does know how she feels, she often tries to cover it up so she can look like she has it all together. I think this is why she has so much trouble recognizing her feelings for Ross.
Someone I was still in love with was getting married?
Still in love with?
Yeah.
I'm not in love with Ross.
I think that when she's unhealthy, Rachel also leans into her wing 4 because when things don't go her way, she gets very melodramatic.
I mean, after tomorrow night.
No, please, Ross, I can't do it.
Okay, I'll tell her tonight I can't see her anymore.
And now we're going to talk about my favorite character, Chandler Bing. Chandler is extremely loyal, he has a strong need to prove himself, and he seeks stability in his life. That's why I think that Chandler is an Enneagram 6.
I know how much this means to you, and I also know that this is about more than just jewelry. It's about you and me and the fact that we're best buds.
Wow. Is this friendship? I think so.
Like a 6, he is very loyal to his friends. For example, he's been friends with Ross since college.
Hey, check out the flyers for the band. I made them on a Macintosh in the computer room.
His strong sense of loyalty can also be Chandler's downfall. Because he wants security, he can often fall into the trap of being overly cautious.
It's like all of a sudden we were this couple, okay? And this alarm started going off in my head, you know, run for your life, get out of the building.
I think that's why Chandler stays at his job, because it gives him order and financial stability.
Listen, about the weekly numbers, I'm gonna need them on my desk by 9 o'clock.
In relationships, Chandler tends to see the world through fear-tinted glasses. I think that's why it takes him so long to commit to someone before he finally ends up with Monica. He has trouble connecting and trusting his inner guidance system, so he's often looking at others to give him reassurance of the relationship.
So, I guess this is over.
What?
Well, you know, you and me. I mean, it had to end sometime.
Why exactly?
Because of the weekend, we had a fight.
Chandler, that's crazy. If you give up every time you have a fight with someone, you'd never be with anyone longer than... Oh.
And now for Smelly Cat Extraordinaire, Phoebe Buffet. Phoebe is easygoing, creative, optimistic, and supportive. She is generally accepting of everyone and avoids conflict at all costs. That's why I think that Phoebe is an Enneagram Type 9. Phoebe has trouble confronting her issues and often avoids conflict as much as she can. For example, instead of telling Monica that she's moving out because Monica is a very hard roommate to live with, she actually just slowly moves her stuff out in hopes that Monica figures it out and is okay with it.
That's why I moved out.
Hey, while we're on that, when are you going to tell my sister that you don't live here anymore?
I think on some level she already knows.
Phoebe, she doesn't know that you sneak out every night. She doesn't know that you sneak back every morning, and she doesn't know that you've been living at your grandmother's for a week now.
Even though Phoebe presents as a tree-hugging hippie, as a 9, she's still in the anger triad. This means that they are often full of unresolved anger, but they're afraid to let it out. In Phoebe's case, this translates as passive aggressiveness, which is what she does to Ross when she's mad at him, but doesn't tell him why.
Wait, are you mad at me or something? Because if you are, please tell me what it is I did.
Well, if you don't know, I can't help you.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I can't help you.
I think that Phoebe is the heart of the show. She's a natural mediator, and she often points out the value in hard situations and in other people. And finally, Joey Tribbiani. As the life of the party who doesn't share food and often shares his bed with lots of women, he is definitely an Enneagram Type 7.
How you doing?
7s are usually extroverted, flexible, optimistic, and full of adventure. As an actor, Joey uses these traits to do scrappy odd jobs in the industry and network to get new auditions.
You need to, you know, make sure I don't have any horrible scars or tattoos. Don't you worry. I have nothing to hide. So there you go. That's me. 100% natural.
I think the clearest way we can see Joey's inner 7 is through his playfulness. He's always seeking new and fun adventures, and he's usually in good spirits.
But it seems to me it's pretty much like anything else, you know? Face your fear. You have a fear of heights? You go to the top of the building. You're afraid of bugs. Get a bug.
A weakness of the Enneagram 7 is that they can often be uncommitted. In the show, we see this through Joey struggling to commit to any kind of romantic relationship. At the end of season 10, all of the friends have found partners and found like a romantic person, but Joey is still single.
Guys, she's a very nice girl, okay? We had a good time, but I don't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, but you always say that. Yeah, maybe if you gave this girl a chance, it would go somewhere.
Look, I'm sorry, you guys. I just don't think so.
Stick around if you want to see more Enneagram and personality videos. I've put a playlist in the description down below of all my Enneagram videos, and make sure to subscribe if you have not already. I put out new videos every Thursday. I'm Abbey Howe, and I'm here to help you discover you. Thanks for watching.